Joining us. How you doing, my man?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
A lot of big changes for you in this last couple of months. You moved from Singapore now to the States. How was that like?
I mean, it's back to normal in the States. It's definitely a little bit different on how they're handling the COVID situation, so a little more freedom. But I do miss Singapore a lot, man. I'm happy to be back, and it feels like I came home almost. I just wish I could go out and see people and visit.
What was the motivating factor for you moving back to the States?
It just there was a situation between me and Evolve, and they decided to go a different way. So I went back to the States, but it's all love from me. I miss the guys over there. I love the team, and I hope the best for them.
How was the travel like? You had to come in, do that 10-day quarantine, get the swab test done, and the lockdown in the hotel. Has that affected you at all going into this one?
I feel a little bit of a jet lag. This will be the first time I'm fighting in one while traveling from the United States because I was in Singapore. So, it's just getting adjusted, but I feel good, man. I'm ready to go. There's going to be no excuses. There's going to be no anything put up on my side. I'm going to go out there and perform, and we'll see what happens.
It seems like one has done a great job with you building up stiffer competition each fight as you progress. This one is a big jump for you. The number 4 ranked Yusuf Sadulayev is going to be a great challenge for you. How do you feel about that matchup?
I'm super excited, man. This is pretty much a fight I've been asking for since I got in, so no complaints from me. I'm super excited I got it. I think it's a great matchup. We're both very strong wrestlers. We both like to grapple, and you never know what's going to happen in there. So I'm super excited, and I think the fans should keep their eyes on the TV for this one.
We have a question here from Asian Persuasion MMA. How big a step up in competition do you feel Yusuf is for you?
Step up. I don't feel like I should be disrespectful to my previous opponents. I think they're all very high level, and they all present different situations and different strengths and weaknesses. Daichi Takanaka had a really close fight with Yusuf. It went split decision, and he lost to Mark Abelardo, who I just beat. So I won't say it's a huge step up. I just say it's a different puzzle. He's definitely the best grappler I've faced so far in one championship, for sure. He's definitely the most experienced guy, and he has the biggest names on his record. But, I'm just going out there and looking to do what I do. It doesn't really matter who's across the cage from me.
Next question here from Carlo Quinto. Yusuf is a very dangerous grappler with high-level submissions. How confident are you in your ground game that you will be able to handle him if the fight goes to the mat?
To be honest, I don't want to sound like cocky or anything like that, but I think I control where this fight goes. I do think I am the superior wrestler. So if we go to the ground, it'll be because I want to go to the ground, and I'm very confident in my skills down there. I am a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I have a long history in wrestling, and I'm just very confident in what I do. If it was a submission grappling tournament in a gi, maybe he would beat me, but there's punches in the face, and this is a fight, and I think I'm the better ground fighter.
Next question here from Fight Game Asia. Aside from his ground game, is there anything else you need to worry about when facing him? And also, what do you think is Sadulayev's biggest weakness, and how can you exploit that?
He throws big, wild punches, He doesn't set a lot of his strikes up, but when he throws them, it's full power. He's going to jump into it. So if he touches you, it's definitely going to hurt you. So I do need to watch out for the big strikes. But as far as his biggest weakness, probably his stand-up. His stand-up is very generic, and he uses it just to get to those clinch positions and get to the ground. So I do think that's probably his biggest weakness. But I think he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He's fought everybody. He's been in the game for a long time, and he's been successful. So you can't write him off anywhere.
Moving into this next one now from Keith Makaling. Sadulayev is a veteran with a lot of fight experience. Do you think that will be a factor in this match?
I respect Sadulayev a lot, and I don't want it to come off as I'm dismissive of him or his skill set. I think he's very good, and I would love to maybe grapple with him and train with him after this fight. It's hard to find guys that can push you like that, but I don't think there's anything that can save him in this matchup. I'm very well prepared, and I'm very confident in my preparation, and I believe I'm one of the best guys in the world, and I'm looking to go prove that.
Mia Miranda with this question. You mentioned you left Evolve MMA to return home in the U.S. You're now training with some great talent at Stanford MMA. What has that experience been like, and how did it help you develop as a fighter?
Sanford's been amazing since the first day I stepped in there. Coach Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, Kami. We have a bunch of assistant coaches as well. They've welcomed me with open arms, and I couldn't ask for a better team to relocate to. And I have some of the best training partners in the world. I have people like Martin Nguyen, who was the featherweight champ. I have guys like Michael Chandler. I have a bunch of guys that you guys don't know about that grind in the room with me every single day that I think are amazing, and they're going to make big waves in one championship, UFC, and Bellator very soon. It's been awesome, and I get to test myself against guys that are world champions, and I know where I stand. It's not a guessing game anymore. I didn't have a lot of experience training with people of that caliber, and now that I have it, I know where I stand. There's no questions asked. I am one of the best in the world. So Stanford MMA has been an amazing opportunity and experience for me, and I'm super thankful to be there, and I'm looking to go represent them well.
Speaking about that, Martin Nguyen, Ong La, you have Teal Tang over there, and some big names that won championship. What advice do they give you when you go out and compete?
Man, there's too many names in that gym to name drop. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's so many names over there. And, we hang out in the gym quite a bit. I don't know if we've talked too much about advice as far as fighting over here, but, I think we all have the same mindset as you put the work in and the results will happen. You can't sit there and just worry about wins and losses, and you can't get scared of what happens if I go out there and get knocked out, or what happens if I lose by submission. You just do the work, you do it as hard as you can, and you make sure you're prepared, and then you let the chips fall where they may. So I think we all have that same mindset of we're real martial artists, and we're trying to get better every single day, and then this is just a chance to go express ourselves.
Now, the bantamweight division is a pretty stacked division. John Lineker versus Kevin Bellingham was one recent fight for the #1 contender bout. Lineker is now ranked at #1. What do you think about that bout?
I think Lineker did pretty much what he does in every single fight, and he imposed his game plan well. I think maybe Bellingham was a little too hesitant. I think all the hype behind Lineker's hands of stone got in his head. So he was biting a little bit too much on the feints. He was too worried about the strikes and didn't impose his own game plan, which I think in the interview after that, he said himself that that he didn't feel like himself, and that wasn't his best performance because he was in his own head. But, impressive win. No one's done that to Bellingham. No one just goes out there, walks him down, and finishes him. So super impressive from Lineker. And, that's another fight I'm looking forward to sometime in the future. I'm sure him and Bibiano probably have a date coming up, but I'm chasing the belt. So whoever has it at that point, I'll be happy to face. I think everybody in one championship is top caliber. So even outside the top 5, I'm excited for anybody.
Champion right now, as you spoke about, Bibiano Fernandes, undefeated in one championship, legend in the sport. How do you feel you match up against him?
It's not undefeated, but he does have the most title defenses. I think me and Bibiano is actually pretty similar to how this fight with Yusuf will be, where he's a very good grappler. He does throw big, wild strikes, and he can't hurt you on your feet if you get caught by it. But I think it's very similar to where I think I'm the superior wrestler, so I can kind of decide where the fight takes place. And I do think I have better striking. So I think I'm a very good matchup for Bibiano, but, his jiu-jitsu is world-class. He's one of the best in the world in jiu-jitsu, in fighting too. He knows how to use it for MMA very well. So I have to mind my P's and Q's in that bout. But I do think I'm a good matchup, and I'm super excited to go test myself. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but testing myself is what I do this for. It's not for fame. It's not for the money. I want to challenge myself. I want to see where I am, and I want to get better every single day as a martial artist. So that's another bout that excites me a lot.
Yeah, my bad. My apologies. Bibiano did have a split decision loss to Kevin Bellingham. We got next question here from Leon Jennings, Asian Persuasion MMA. Starting the year with the win in Singapore, then ending the year with the win in Singapore, and moving into the top 5 bantamweight rankings. All things considered with COVID, will this go down as a good year for you?
It's, I'm still getting to live my dream and do what I love. So it's always a good year. I was very worried at the start of this year how things were going, that, some of the promotions were going to struggle and maybe I wouldn't have a job at the end of this year. So I'm just super thankful to be here. Super thankful to One Championship, Chatri, like everybody that puts the work in behind the scenes to make sure that we have a platform to go out there and compete. I'm just grateful. So it was a great year for me, and I'm looking to go cap it off well.
You've had a little bit of time to work on new skills in a new gym. What specific areas of your game have improved since training at Stanford MMA?
There's definitely more wrestlers in the room at Stanford, so I'm getting a lot more of hard wrestling, drilling a lot more of that look. So I think I've probably resharpened some of my wrestling skills and got a little bit better in those positions in MMA. So my wrestling has probably improved quite a bit. Definitely Henry's style of striking is different from when I was at Evolve. Evolve is very Muay Thai based. Henry's obviously Dutch kickboxing, so a little bit more movement. Definitely a different style. And it's just different. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other, but it works very well for my skill set. So I'm excited to go show the new layers to my game that I've been working on.
Talk to us about training with Henry Hoop. How has that helped you?
It's been awesome, man. Henry's just a good vibes person. Being around him just makes you happy to go train. So outside of his technique, he's just a good person to be around and reinvigorates your willingness to go train. So that's been awesome. But, the guy knows a lot of things, and I've picked up on little details that, maybe been missing some from some of my striking game. So it's been an awesome experience. And, we've only been working together for maybe 8 to 12 weeks. So I'm super excited to see what we can do in the future when we have more time together.
Now, this move back to the U.S. means you have to travel all the way back to Asia. Is that something you thought about before making the move back out?
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal to have to travel 30 hours, the week of a fight and try to get adjusted to a 12-hour time difference and stuff like that. But that's just part of the game. MMA, people travel all over the world to fight all the time, and I'm just going to have to make it work. Hopefully One Championship will bring some events to North America soon, and then won't have to travel quite so far. But I love coming to visit Singapore. I love Asian culture. So especially when COVID's over and I get to go out and experience the culture and explore places, it doesn't bother me. I'm excited to be out here again.
Now, you were at Evolve in Singapore for a few years. Did you get to travel around a bit? And if you did, which country was your favorite?
Yeah, I did travel around a bit. I was in Malaysia, went to Thailand, been around a little bit. I've been to Japan, but didn't really get to travel that much outside the airport. I think Singapore is probably my favorite. Singapore is like an Asian version of the United States to me. So it feels like home, but it is different. So you get different cultures. And if there was any place that I was going to relocate to outside of the United States ever again, I'd come back to Singapore. I love this place.
Prediction, how do you think this one ends?
Violently. I think it ends violently. Probably, I'll say first round TKO.
Got it, man. Thank you for your time. All the best this Friday night. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Absolutely. Thank you.